Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Monday, so it's Poetry Day. I heard this beautiful pattern, Your Life poem from Leo Buscaglia many, many years ago. I think he wrote this as a result of his traveling through the Orient for a number of years. Pattern your life after the giant bamboo. The exterior, though smooth and lovely to touch, is tough and resistant to the sword. Within, it is soft and pliable, with much empty space for continued growth. It grows neatly, ordered, never cluttered. Alone it rises tall and straight, always upward to the sky. Here to spread its leaves to the sun. It leans on nothing. It makes its own way, perhaps near others, a part of others, but dependent on its own strength and force. So pattern your life. I love that. All right, my journal writing friends, or elevating the conscious conversation friends, where, how, and with whom are you still a rebel? Everybody has a place that thumbs their nose at authority, that waits for the teacher to turn around before you diss them or whatever it is, or however it is you flaunt convention, break the rules, or have a hidden side that people don't realize you're still doing that. So, how, where, and with whom are you still a rebel? So think about that. Elevate the conversation with those who will talk to you about it, or let me know, and I'll be glad to share from my point of view as well as hear your own. All right. Now, when you practice yoga, although some seclusion is necessary, you have to take time away from other things. Right? Like I say, you got to be stealthy. You got to learn to steal time away from other things in order to have time for your practice or whatever it is that's your yogic way of connecting. But you will not become an eccentric recluse who refuses to play in public. You're not caught up in some weird aspect of yoga that gets you into a cultic version of it. It's precisely the reverse. The reverse. The fact of yoga is it normalizes you, it helps you be more sane, fills you more with common sense, and then you're more available to your own life and to life itself. Now, if you listen to enough of my talks over the years, you know I come back and back again and again to the inner child stuff. It's just that there's so many different ways to approach the different kind of things that each of us have to handle as our life karma, that I can't repeat the same thing every single time, but I come back to it every now and then. And one of the people who have been very influential for me in my own reclaiming the inner child and the wonder child is John Bradshaw. And very often work is not the only thing, but work can be one of the mood-altering addictions that you throw yourself into work to avoid paying attention to the other inner cues. So here's just a couple of reminders. And if any of these resonate for you, go further into this, either as an autodidact and teach yourself, or get professional help in a 12-step program or a therapy program. Sometimes it can be done just with yoga, but a lot of times it's good to have an extra ear to listen to you and someone to cut through your own self-deception if you're still bullshitting yourself. So, how about these? If you're codependent, you can't generate happiness from outside yourself, that's one. If you continue any offender behavior on your part as a parent, but you're still a wounded child, that's it. If you have the narcissistic disorder where you need a face that unconditionally loves you, that's it. If you have trust issues and you're a people pleaser, you're controlling or gullible, that's it too. If you're acting out on other people or acting in on yourself, doing the same thing exactly that happened to you, trying to complete it, that's it. If you have a magical belief as if you wait long enough, something will change, that's not going to happen. If you have intimacy dysfunctions, which manifests in relationships that you can't get close to people, that's it. If you're not disciplined, obsessive, compulsive, or just impulsive, that's it. If you have ingestive addictions, right? Use food as a way of stuffing your feelings down, that's it. If you have a thought disorder where you absolutize everything, it's either all or nothing, another clue. And then, of course, if there's the emptiness of what I call spiritual bankruptcy, you know that's something you need to look into. Now, we all have this capacity for goodness. as a way of depriving evil of its power. And sometimes it seems like we can't stamp out evil, but can we turn it to something good? The old archery term sin means missing the bullseye, missing the target. So all of our personal practice, inner practice about making the effort and the intention to be more accurate, be more excellent, develop skill in the lines along the lines where we know we're weak. What's interesting, the sins of the spirit are much more egregious than the sins of the flesh, because the sins of the flesh turn you back to spirit, turn you back to God. But the sins of the spirit gives you a big ego trip and takes you away from spirit or God. So be careful on this path. Always keep humility as your traveling companion. And then make friends with the stranger. That's one of the interesting things. I'm dedicated to be a voice to speak on behalf of something that can't be put into words. It has to be lived, not just talked about. And that means we have to be the leaders in bridging to other people and not thinking that they should change first. Right? We want other people to be different than how they are instead of we should be different than how we are, so we could reach out to them. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, honor curiosity. Marvel at the miracles that are in the world, that the world even exists, and be a student of the extraordinary. If you don't know how to find what's extraordinary and the extraordinary, I don't know, you'll get this teaching. But if you do, you'll be able to glimpse new worlds which are invisible to the bored and the merely indifferent. So I hope you develop the ability to examine everything with deep consideration, be fascinated with your own inquiries, with the intricacies and complexities of what life is, and curb your own cynicism, nihilism, sarcasm, and instead encourage yourself to investigate whatever you're called to know more about. So may we all incline our mind to well-being. And I know that for some people, if you think that sitting around in circles singing Kumbaya is such a disconnect from what's going on in the world. But if we're focusing only on the terrible things and overlooking the goodness that's within ourselves and how we can build goodness with other people and in the world, then you realize if you only see the worst, you destroy your capacity to sally forth and do something good. So may your affirmation for today and every day be, I allow the well-being that is natural to me to flow. And I keep attuning to feeling good. May that ever be so. Pass it on.